Okay, so ready to dive in. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting, even if it doesn't sound like it at first.
Yeah, this is cool.
Canadian construction estimators,
Hmm.
but not just any estimators, the ones going for something called Gold Seal certification.
Right.
And we've got this training document,
Yeah.
right, for people studying for it.
Yep.
And it's fascinating because it shows just how important communication is. Like, even in a field where you're dealing with, you know, millions of dollars,
Mm.
being able to get your point across clearly can make or break a project.
Absolutely. Like, we're not just talking about, being friendly or chatting on site. This is serious stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Contracts, legal stuff, all that. A single misplaced comma could end up costing a fortune.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
And that's something this training document really hits hard on. Like, it's not enough to just be good with numbers if you're an estimator.
Right.
You have to be a top-notch communicator, too.
Yeah.
It even specifically mentions, notice it in writing.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Especially when you're working with the standard Canadian construction contracts, those CCDC ones.
Like CCDC 2 and 4.
Exactly. They're like the backbone of so many projects, right? And those notices in writing, they're basically legally binding. They
Wow.
determine everything.
So, like, if something changes on a project,
Gotta have a notice in writing.
disputes,
Notice in writing.
even how payments are handled.
Yep, notice in writing. It's all documented.
So I imagine, like, there's zero room for error with these notices.
Pretty much. You mess up a notice, things can go south real fast. Let's say you've got a change order, right?
Okay, for, say, more materials.
Exactly. And it's not documented properly, like what's being added, how much, what the price is, all that. Well, down the line, you could have the contractor saying one thing, the client saying another, and boom, you're in a legal battle.
And I bet those get expensive.
Oh, tell me about it. Delays, lawyers' fees, all that. It adds up fast. It's why estimators need to be more than just number crunchers. They got to be clear communicators, too, making sure every detail's covered, every clause is crystal clear.
So they're like wearing a bunch of different hats,
Right.
part number cruncher, part lawyer, part, like, diplomat.
Yeah, something like that. And their writing skills.
Mm.
Seriously, those can make or break a project. Imagine, you're trying to figure out a cost estimate from some complicated technical drawing.
Oh, yeah, those could be tough.
If you misunderstand something or you don't communicate your questions properly,
Oof.
that could lead to some big mistakes, costly mistakes.
So basically, every word matters in this field.
You got it.
Okay, so we've talked about these notices in writing and how important they are. What else does this training document highlight?
Well, it spends a lot of time on, best practices for communication.
Like specific tips?
Yeah, like keep things clear, keep them concise, be professional in your tone, and always make sure you're following all the legal requirements.
So good advice, even outside of construction.
Oh, absolutely. Being able to communicate clearly, get complicated ideas across in a way anyone can understand, paying attention to detail.
That's useful no matter what you do.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that even in these super specialized fields, there are always lessons that apply more broadly.
Totally. So for everyone listening, what's the one big thing you'd want them to take away from this deep dive?
I'd say it's that effective communication goes way beyond just, saying what you think. It's about being precise, being clear, and understanding that words have power.
Especially when you're dealing with millions of dollars.
Oh, absolutely. And that applies to so much more than just construction.
That's a really good point.
Thanks.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dives into the world of Canadian construction estimators.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Definitely a lot more interesting than I thought it would be going in.
Haha, right.
And if this piqued your interest, there's so much more to learn.
Tons of fascinating stuff out there.
So go explore. Thanks for listening, everyone.